live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, trade deadline is officially over. Look, Lakers won the trade deadline, right? I mean, they got the best player in that anybody could have possibly traded, for one, in Luka. Two, they also got the center for now and the future. Three, they got a legit 3-and-D wing that, oh yeah, by the way, has chemistry with Luka and played with Luka for years and is like his best friend, right? Like, couldn't ask for a better trade. And that's not counting, Shake Milton, who I think could be solid and potentially a rotation piece. It's not counting keeping all your core guys. Markieff Morris, I know he's older now. He's not the guy he was in 2020, but he's still a 6'9" forward that I do think, he had his best time with the Lakers, right? And I could see that happening again because he's going to be playing alongside LeBron and Luka now. So I think that you may be able to see Markieff Morris do a little damage. Obviously, we have Maxi Kleber now. If he can get healthy, he'd be a great piece. Same thing with Christian Wood and stuff like that. So Lakers, I think, are in really good shape. Cleared off a roster spot. Cleared off some money to go sign a piece with that open roster spot. Lakers, what more could you ask for, right? Got another guy come in, bare minimum. I do think the Lakers will take their time, right, with the buyout candidate. Like, don't expect the Lakers to just go sign a guy tomorrow. It's possible. Of course they can. But I think the Lakers will probably take some time to kind of evaluate and see what do Lakers need. Do they need another big man? Do you need a sizable forward? Do you need like a 6'8" forward, or do you need like a 6'6" to 6'7" guy, a guy that can play the 2 or the 3, right? Like, what does this team need? I think the Lakers are going to be patient in that regard, and also to wait and see like who becomes available, who opens up, who's a guy that makes sense for the Lakers. I think if that right guy is there, regardless, if it's like one of those things where it's like, man, we got to get this guy, I think the Lakers will just go and get that guy. But I'm sure I'm going to mention this a couple times during the stream, but remember, we cannot sign anybody off of a buyout that is making more than $12.8 million. Still get comments regularly, trying to relay it to as many people as possible. So I'm sure we're going to get some comments of people that are like, oh, what about Ben Simmons? Like, can't sign him. Lakers didn't get under the first apron, which I wish I would have done. But to be honest, look, like, anything else would have just been, it wouldn't even have been cherry on top. It would have been an extra cherry, right? Like, it would have been extra toppings on top of it, right? Like, it's like the rich get richer type thing if the Lakers were able to pull that off. But, ideally, I would have loved, could we have gotten, under the apron again? And then also, could we have gotten like a Dayron or something? But, I could live without it. It's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out. Worst case scenario, you have Trey Jemison, I think, is a sizable physical center that I really would like to see the Lakers maybe give a shot. We'll see, right? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of candidates on the buyout market, a lot of people that are going to you're going to end up seeing get, released and stuff. So stay tuned for that. Look forward to that. But overall, look, Rob Pelinka cooked. He did. The guy turned water into wine, literally. The guy did everything you could ask for and then some. And this team completely changed its dynamic, right? Like, Rob Pelinka essentially rebuilt while still maintaining title contention, right? Like, usually it's one or the other, right? Usually it's you rebuild or you contend, right? Rob Pelinka literally rebuilt, but also was able to still contend, right? Like, you got your center and you got your point guard for now and the future. You still have Austin Reeves. You still have, your 2 pick swaps and a second, so Lakers could still make moves in the offseason. Also, you have Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and I'm blanking on his name, Kleber, right? Maxi Kleber. Those 3 guys are all expiring contracts, and we saw how important expiring contracts were this offseason, right? So don't be surprised if they're able to turn any of those guys into somebody significant. LeBron supposedly is willing to take a discount in the offseason to go get that missing piece or two, or if they win the championship this year, go get that piece or two to repeat, right? Which I've talked about. If the Lakers win the championship this year, best believe LeBron is going to do everything in his power to go back to back. Because if he wins it this year, then now he's one away from tying Jordan. You don't think he's going to want to do that? Of course he can. So there's Lakers still have flexibility in the offseason. They still have assets to move in the offseason and make other trades or key acquisitions or whatever, or sign and trade in the offseason or something, whatever they need to do, whatever they need to work on, right? Because sign and trades are going to be very important. And to have the expiring contracts, right? So you get a guy that's like, hey, you know, I want to go to the Lakers in the offseason, and a team's like, well, we don't want to just lose them for nothing. So maybe we take on a Gabe Vincent and see if we can flip them in the by the trade deadline or something, right? Like there's going to be things that are Lakers are in good shape, is my point, right? Lakers 10 games over 500, right? They're going to go and hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully win tonight. You win tonight, keep winning, right? Luka and Mark should be getting ready to play on Saturday. That would be huge for the Lakers, right? I wouldn't be shocked if we win like 8 straight, 7 straight, something like that. I don't even know who we're playing in those games. I don't think it matters. Because you already saw in that Clipper game just this excitement, the hype, the adrenaline, all that stuff. I think you're going to get that, but now Luka's on the court and Mark Williams is on the court, right? So I think you're going to get this kind of injection of just like, boom, right? Like, and guys are going to pick it up and do all that stuff. My concern is after that, right? If you get that, you're going to get that extra juice. That's great. But what about after that? Like, I wouldn't be surprised the Lakers are like, by the end of the month, they've only lost like 2 or 3 games all month, right? But then my concern is like once the dust settles, like, yes, you would imagine chemistry and stuff like that should start picking up and understanding. But there are concerns in like, like that adrenaline rush calms down, and now reality kicks in, and now guys start slacking on defense and things like that. Again, maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe Lakers are just game busters and just best team in the league at that point. It's very possible, right? A lot of kind of mystery, a lot of like questions about this team, a lot of some concerns, right? Obviously, can Luka and LeBron actually play? I think they can. I think they'll be fine. Is there probably going to be a bit of a learning curve? Absolutely, right? I mean, great example is like look at Dorian Finney-Smith, right? And I've said this before. I've said this in past seasons, but it's easy to integrate a role player, right? Dorian Finney-Smith built a career, on just being the same consistent role guy. Every team wants him to play that exact role. So Lakers trade for Dorian Finney-Smith, plug him in, and he immediately has an impact. He's immediately our best plus-minus guy. He's immediately, you're seeing the difference in this team just on him alone because he's a role player. He knows his role. He knows how to fit in, right? So he just comes in and he plops right in. I've talked about it before. It is very hard to integrate a new superstar, especially in the middle of the season, right? Because superstars, and Luka's not even Luka's a super duper star, right? But any superstar, adding them into a roster, there's going to be a little bit of, because he's used to, if he never wants to pass the ball and take 100 shots, he can do it, right? Like there's differences. Now he's got to come in, plug in next to LeBron, right? They got to kind of figure that out. Again, I trust that they will. I'm not worried about it. LeBron's the one that's probably going to make the sacrifice. Luka will make some sacrifices, but it'll probably be more LeBron than anything. I think LeBron will kind of let Luka be Luka and fit in. But not only is it hard to fit a superstar, you're also fitting a superstar that's going to be on ball and your point guard. So he has to build chemistry with all these guys. He has to learn, okay, where does Rui like it in his shooting pocket? Is it right, left, center, high, low, right? Like, where does he want it? All of those things are very big factors, right? So, again, I'm going to do videos breaking all this stuff down, so look forward to those videos. But I do think Lakers can be a contender. A couple things I want to see before I'm ready to, like, crown them a contender. But I do think – I think the ceiling is higher with the current roster than it was pre Luka, Mark Williams, and everything else, right? I think this roster has potential to be great this season. Also, Luka and LeBron have probably never in their lives ever played with the guy that's arguably as good, if not better. LeBron, probably, I mean, as a kid, he was probably never playing. He was probably playing with grown men, and he was better than them all, right? Like, same thing with Luka. Luka was winning like Europe championships in the hardest league on the best team and was the best player. Like at like 13, the dude was a prodigy, right? So again, like if they were ever going to make adjustments, it would be for a guy like that, right? Like, how much is Luka wanting to adjust for Kyrie? Yeah, Kyrie's a great player, but it's like, dude, I can, like, everything he does, I can do on an off night, right? Like, a bad night for me is like a Kyrie good night, right? Like, because there's levels to this. I mean, the dude's anywhere from the second to third, fourth best player in the league, right? Like, he's looking at it like, why would I adjust for somebody that's not anywhere close to the player that I am, right? But LeBron, even age 40, year 22, again, Luka's better, but LeBron on any given night can raise to that level. LeBron on any given night can be that guy, right? So that's the difference. So I do see these two kind of making the adjustments. I do see these two kind of figuring out what they need to figure out. But anyway, let's get into all of the chat questions, super chat questions, all that stuff. So send them in and we'll cover those. And then real quick, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. You people are beautiful. And let's get in. Let me scroll to the top here and then, whoops. What's going on? There we go. Give me 1 second. Let me get to the top here. All right. And then let's get into the chat. So, yo, what's good, Tyler? Just wanted to thank you for all the grinding you do. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Seriously. I was with you the whole night last night stream, and you were grinding. You're the best man. Well, thank you. Seriously, I appreciate it. Dude, I was like fading last night, and I still had like another like 3 hours. I didn't go to sleep till like 5, and then woke up at 6:30. Been napping, but it's part of the game, right? It's how it goes, right? It's only like a week out of the year, so it's all right. Plus, you got to stay on the grind, right? It's worth it. Great. Hit 25K. Very thankful. Still got to make my community posts. Just been nonstop, all the chaos. But yeah, I appreciate you, seriously. More and more I watch Mark Williams, kid's a stud. Yeah, 100%. He's going to be very good for this Lakers team. Very good for this Lakers team. Like, he has LeBron and Luka that are just going to feed him. Like, again, he's going to put what Mark Williams is going to do. He's going to put so much pressure on opposing teams because he is such a good finisher around there. He is a very good screen setter. He is a guy that can operate in the pick and roll. And Luka really loves to get into the teeth of the defense, collapse the defense, and then throw that lob. LeBron can do a lot of the same stuff. Same thing with Austin Reeves. What does Austin Reeves love to do, right? Get in the teeth of the defense, right? Jackson Hayes or whomever, and then he's throwing up the lob. Teams are now going to have to make decisions. Teams are now going to have to, like, okay, do we press Luka, or do we leave our guy on an island and he's just going to rise up and knock it down, or do we trust that, he fumbles the pass or whatever, right? Like, it's going to put so much pressure on opposing teams. It's going to be great. We got to go for a run. Yeah, 100%. It would be nice. Starts tonight. Let's get that win, and then guys will start playing for the first time. We'll be in great shape. Let's see. When are they all expected to all start together? Saturday is the target date. Again, if there's any like hiccups, setbacks, anything like that, it's very possible that it doesn't happen. But the target date is Saturday. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I think it's going to happen because ESPN, who was it? I think it was like the Celtics game or something like that. Like, I think it was like Celtics Pacers or something like that. They like moved that game to pick up the Lakers game. So that tells you they're not doing that unless Luka's probably playing. Torrey Craig, I would love Torrey Craig. I think Torrey Craig's great. I think Lakers will be patient, like I said, and kind of see. Torrey Craig, somebody made a good point last night. Torrey Craig's dating Megan Thee Stallion. He'd probably love to be in LA. And they weren't right. Or they weren't wrong. I think it was Andrew last night. I was hoping we trade Kleba. But hey, it's okay. Lakers have to sign Kelly Olynyk if he gets bought out. If we get him, now we're champs. If we're healthy, yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, in perfect world, it would have been nice to move off Kleba, ideally get another second apron or get another like backup center. But like I talked about it earlier, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not even a cherry on top anymore. It's like it's like extra toppings. It's the rich get richer. So can't be too mad. Obviously, I would. There was other things that I would have loved to see the Lakers do, but we'll see. Tyler, I can smell a chip if healthy. I can too, 100%. Like I said, I definitely think they're contenders. I definitely think they can win. Right? Just I could see in my head. Like I wish I could just like hook up my brain and show you guys what like rattles through my head like with this team. That's why I try to like paint the picture as best as I can. But like there is a version of this team, and I've talked about this before. There's a version of this team that is higher and better by a good margin than the previous team. Right? As soon as they got Mark Williams, I was like, okay, this team is better than any iteration, more likely than not. Obviously, you never know, but more likely than not any iteration. Like if the Lakers would have gotten like Zach LaVine and Mark Williams and and kept AD and LeBron, it's pretty good team, right? Like or did some crazy stuff or whatever, right? There was a path to where LeBron and AD with the right pieces could have won a championship. But assuming that it would have been, let's say, similar, say they still got Mark Williams, I don't know if that version is better than what this version can be, is my point. So just something to kind of keep in mind. But now, only concern right now is a guard spot since Gabe is our only guard off the bench. Yeah, well, I mean, you got Shake Milton. He can hold down. He's got to lock down defensively better. If he wants to be in the rotation, he's got to pick it up defensively. He's had some nice defensive sequences, but he's also had some very bad ones. So he's got to find a good balance. Oh, now they're saying Luka just came out per Mark Stein. It says Luka targeting Monday debut. But they've been all over the place with that. First they said it was that it was this day, that it was this game. Then they said it was Saturday. Then they said it was Monday. Then they said no, it's Wednesday. Then it was Saturday again. I don't think any of them know. I don't think any of them. I think all of them are just guessing, and they're hoping that one of them are right on their guess. That's what I think is happening here. Oh yeah, I finished that. Okay, finished my thought on that. I just want to make sure I got my thought on your thing. Zion coming out to $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Seriously, I really appreciate that. I really want Braun to contribute more defensively now that this team is more elite offensively. Crazy that AD might be guarding him now at the 4, yeah, which would be hilarious. It's wild. To see that for the first time is going to be wild. So I've touched on this before. I really, because of Luka, it should, in concept, preserve LeBron more to where he should be able to pick it up defensively. I still don't think he's going to be, like, oh, that's it. LeBron's all NBA defense, right? Like, I don't think he's going to get to that. And to his credit this year, he's been much better this year than he has been the last few years on the defensive end. He's bought in more. He's been more active on the defensive side of things. You can tell he wants to win this chip more than anything, which is why I think as soon as they got Luka, right? I think if he would have gotten anybody else, he would have been like, outside of like Jokic or something, right? He probably would have been like, dude, like, what are you guys doing? But I think as soon as he saw Jokic, he was like, I might actually win the championship this year, right? Because I have somebody that actually, like, I've been begging AD. We all love AD, right? But there were genuine questions and concerns about, can he be the guy? There is zero questions about Luka, right? So I think LeBron knows he wants to win with his son. Obviously, he wants to win because he wants to win, but he wants to win a championship with his son before he rides off in the sunset, right? You can already see. The NBA probably wants him to win with his son. So that way they can take pictures together and, all that stuff. So I do think Luka will better preserve LeBron to where he can be more effective and active on the defensive side of things. Again, I still don't think he's going to be like, oh, absolute clamps. I mean, we've seen he can do it for a stint. He can do it here and there, but don't expect him to be like this elite defensive player now. But I do think he will definitely, I think he'll definitely pick it up. But again, I appreciate you, Zion. Thank you so much. Pick up Lonnie Walker out of free agency. He's been looking great overseas. Personally, stay as far away. You don't need any more shot creation. You have plenty of that between Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and Luka Doncic. Last thing you need right now is shot creation. You have guys. Rui can shot create a little bit, right? Like you have plenty of shot creation. You need to start putting the pieces around the Lakers to better maximize that, right? Like Lonnie Walker, he's small, doesn't play defense, and can be inconsistent on the offensive side. All three things the Lakers don't need right now. I love Lonnie Walker. He's a fan favorite. We all love Lonnie Walker. We all remember what he did to the Warriors. It was a beautiful moment that, we all wish we could replicate again. But Lakers need two-way guys or big men at this point. They need guys like a Torrey Craig, a Chris Dort. If another guy gets bought out, we'll see who all the buyout candidates are. Or you're bringing in a center. You're bringing in like a Trey Jemison, things like that. You don't want to waste the buyout market. You want to bring in a guy that can plug in and solve a need that you have, right? Which is why I think the Lakers are going to be patient. I think the Lakers will see, is Mark Williams and Jackson Hayes, are they the answer at the center spot, right? And then if they are, okay, well, we have Kleba if he comes back. If not, no big deal. They're holding it down. We got Christian Wood that give us a different look if he comes back. If not, he holds it down. Okay, we're good there. Okay, move to the next one, right? Or it might be like, hey, Jackson Hayes just we need to get a better center, right? Or same thing out on the perimeter. It's like, okay, well, do we need another 6'8" guy, 6'9" guy, or do we need like a 6'6" to 6'7" guy, right? Like a guy again, like a Torrey Craig, right? Like I know a lot of people. I see all the comments all the time. I'm sure there's other people in this live stream that probably said, go get Lonnie Walker. He is literally the last thing this Laker team needs. Lakers have more than enough shot creation. You're almost better off getting a Seth Curry if he gets bought out at this point than a Lonnie Walker, right? Because both aren't going to play defense. Both are undersized. But at least Seth when he's on, is a lights out, dead eye 3-point shooter. And if Lakers got Lonnie Walker, he probably doesn't even see the rotation. So this is the last thing they need. But I get it. I know we all love Lonnie Walker. Kelly Olynyk is making $12.8 million. We could sign him if he gets bought out. I'm so pumped for Saturday. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Kelly Olynyk. Like I said, don't expect. I mean, they could, right? Obviously, if the right guy or they believe the right guy's there, regardless, they'll go get him. But don't be surprised if the Lakers wait till like a month or so and let this team get, 10, 15, 20 games under their belt and then evaluate and go, okay, we really need this. Okay, let's go grab this, right? Like, which the problem is a lot of the guys that we might want might not be available. So, Lakers starting five should be, in my opinion, say everyone is fully healthy and peak performance. My opinion, your starting five should be Luka, Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Mark Williams. And I get used to not saying Anthony Davis, right? What the starting five will probably be is Luka, Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Mark Williams. Will probably be the starting five. The only reason, I worry about Reeves and Luka in the backcourt for defensive purposes. Now, could you get away with it to start and then make the adjustments accordingly if you have to? 4 minutes in, it's like, okay, this is good. We need defense. Sure. They'll probably start us, but I would love to move Rui and Reeves to the bench and immediately fix all of our bench issues offensively, because Reeves is going to torch bench units, and now he moves into our Manu role, and then Rui Hachimura could be another focal point offensively off the bench, inject that defense, and then you just scatter it the rest of the game. I think you're in good shape. Let's see. If you were streaming during, I know, right? If I would have streamed during the deadline, we would have made another trade. Last 2 times traded for Luka and Mark. Yeah, seriously, 100%. Let's see. What what teams can sign those kind of players like a Bruce Brown? Any team under the first apron. So I think OKC is a team that's under the first apron, so like they could get a guy like that. Mostly the bad teams, pretty much all the bad teams, and then OKC, right? Like that's essentially what it boils down to. A lot of those guys, like the Bruce Browns and stuff like that, they're not going to get bought out, like because it doesn't make sense for them as a player, right? So like if you're Bruce Brown, you stay on the Pelicans, you finish your year on the Pelicans, and then you go where you want and free agency. Why are you going to take a discount? Because that's usually what a buyout is, right? You take a little off the top and you get it back by the team that signed you, right? Why would any of these top players, or like not like top player, but you get my point, like higher end guys, like rotation role player guys, starting level guys that could be bought out, why would they want to get bought out to then go to like, Detroit or something like that, right? So don't, like, it's mostly going to be kind of like the lower tier to like maybe like low mid tier guys is probably what you're looking at. But those guys could still be good rotation pieces, right? Because again, Lakers aren't looking for you have your top 8 to 9 guys. You're looking for that other guy that can come in and plug in certain spots, certain key areas. Yeah, defensive guard would be nice. Yeah, stay as far away from Kendrick Nunn as possible. Can we trade those expiring for KD? I mean, anything's possible. It's probably not likely, but everyone's he's going to retire before. I disagree. I think if he retires, he's going to go. Why would you retire when you have a chance to go get number 6, right? Because that's the whole thing. That everyone, he doesn't. Jordan has 6. Jordan has 6. You don't think he knows about all that stuff? He'll keep going until they lose. Like if they win this year, I'm nothing's 100%, so I'm not going to say 100%. He already wants to extend, right? He already, like, as soon as the Luka thing came out, immediately everyone was like, so he's signing a new contract and ready to take a discount, right? Like he's not going to win a championship if they go do that, right? Obviously nothing's 100%, but if the Lakers win the championship this year, I would be genuinely shocked if he retires, right? He's going to go for the back-to-back. And then if, let's say the Lakers win again, he's playing again, right? He'll go as long as the Lakers win. But yeah. Random question, but what Laker jerseys do you have, and who's your favorite Laker player that's not an all-star, like a really good role guy? I'd say mine is either Reeves or Meta. I'm not like a big jersey collector. I have like an actual, like a Kobe jersey, like and that's basically it. It's like an actual game jersey. Outside of that, that's it. Like I don't even hang it on the wall because I have it like stashed because my precious. So I'm not like a big jersey person. Never really have been. I mean, like I grew up in the 90s, so I had jerseys when I was younger because that was like the cool thing. But then eventually you grow up, and I was like, I dressed when I was younger, I was the Cali swag guy, right? I was the Nike SBs or Jordans with the snapback, or the fitted cap. You wear a Stussy shirt, or LRG, right? You wore those, and then like 501 jeans, or what was it? Avizu jeans, like things like that. I was one of those guys, right? I was, you have ears pierced, pretty boy, always had the fresh cut with the fade, right? Like I was that guy, right? I grew up like that. We hoop all day, all night, get off hooping, go pick up the local baddies, call it a day. That was my life growing up. And then had kids, got settled down, got fat. That's how it goes, right? That's life, right? And then you said, you said favorite non all-star player. That's tough. Fisher's definitely got to be up there for sure. Lamar Odom. Michael Thompson, James Worthy. Oh, James Worthy got an all-star, so never mind. Damn, there's so many. like more like the Powell and Kobe. Like I love Shannon Brown. Like Shannon Brown, like nothing was better than watching Chris Brown just dunk on everybody, right? The machine, Sasa Vujacic, right? I mean, God, there's a lot. There's a lot of like really good role guys we like. Current like role guys, definitely like Reeves, definitely like Vando. As much as people think I don't like Reeves, just because I'm critical of them, but I'm critical of everybody. When they're bad, they deserve criticism. When they're good, I praise them. But Reeves is great. Reeves is fun to watch, especially when he's cooking. I love Jared Vanderbilt's intensity and effort. Rondo, when Rondo was a Laker, I loved watching Rondo as a Laker. Things like that. So, like, yeah. So, like, old school, I said Michael Thompson, Michael Cooper. Yeah, I mean, can the Lakers waive Max Kleber to get to the first apron? No. It still counts towards the cap, and he has another year of $11 million. So he has another year after this one. So just things to kind of keep in mind. Oh, Steve Blake. I saw somebody said Steve Blake. Dude, I like Steve Blake because he was always with the squabble. That dude was always like, what's up? Like, you know who else is like that all the time is Jordan Clarkson. But I've never seen that dude actually squabble. Like, that dude is just, every time he's always like, but like nothing ever happens. It's like, come on, dude. Like, cut it out. What do Lakers need now? On the surface, another 3-and-D guy. Ideally, like a veteran guy because you're trying to win a championship this year. So 3-and-D kind of veteran guy, and then probably a center, a quality center. Let's see. Lakers will either make injuries will either make or break. Lakers, they have solid roster, just need to stay healthy. Lakers have a revamped coaching staff or training staff, so should be good. Yeah, I saw that. I mentioned that earlier. I don't think anyone knows what they're talking about because originally it was he's coming Saturday, and then it was like no, he's coming Monday. Then it was like no, he's coming Wednesday, and then it was back to Saturday, and now they're saying Monday again. I don't think they know. I'll wait for JJ Redick and them to give us a heads up because JJ Redick already said that they're targeting Saturday, but there's no guarantee. So, let's see. What guards are expected to be available at $12 million that we need? See, that's the problem. We have no idea right now, right? Because how many teams? Because buyouts happen one of two ways. I mean, you have guys right now like Chris Dort makes some sense, right? Torrey Craig makes some sense, right? But like outside of that, we won't know for a couple days, right? Because players are going to sit back and go, okay, like, is there somewhere I can go that makes sense? Because players aren't going to want to buy out to just like not play or go to a bad team, right? So they need to find that destination. Like that's why you usually see it takes a little while, unless a team waives a guy. Usually, like when you hear players like this player requested a buyout, it's usually like a week or two from now because they're trying to see how everything kind of landscapes. So it's a better question to ask in, a couple days probably. But right now, if you need to say like Chris Dort, Torrey Craig, two guys that come to mind. I wouldn't hate. He's not really a win now piece. But Jaden Spraner got waived. He's 22 years old. And he just got waived because of circumstances, really. I wouldn't hate bringing in a Jaden Spraner, but again, that's not really a win now move, right? Like that's more of like you're adding another potential future piece. So, but I mean, he's a 6'4", 6'5" guard, right? Guard. But yeah. Bradley coming out with the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Can you shout out to my wife Holly, please? Holly, shout outs to you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting Bradley send me a super chat because I know you're the boss. So I got a boss at home too, so I get it. But I really do appreciate that. Shout outs to you, Holly. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And Bradley, thank you for the super chat. It's very, very kind of you. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I am very appreciative of that. What else? Let's see. Let's get into it. I see everybody. Elton Campbell. Let's see. Jordan Farmer. Ramon Sessions. Ramon Sessions came in for like a week, and then just like he was really good for the Lakers during that week, though. They brought him in, and then like he immediately left because he didn't want to be a Laker. Lakers should apply for a disabled player exception to fill Christian Wood and Kleba spots. Problem is they're not out for the season. They're expected to return at some point. So unfortunately, Janet Luka targeting money. Like I said, we'll see. Like again, Lakers are going to take their time. Lakers aren't going to rush Luka back, right? So I'm not saying that it won't happen on that it won't be, or that he won't show up on Saturday, but like, don't be shocked if he does. We beat Denver with Russell Westbrook and Thomas Bryant. We can beat them. I said this in the stream last night. I am incredibly confident the Lakers beat. Like, it is very possible Lakers and Denver are the 4-5 matchup, and that could be obviously a concern. I am very confident that the Lakers can beat Denver now. Like, Luka loves to play Denver, right? Like, I think Lakers smack Denver, which I'm excited for. Smush Parker. What's going on? How did Tyler and my primary source for Laker news, well, thank you. If I ended up your primary source, I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I really do. I'm glad. I don't know if you're asking like where my primary source is. It's just news. I'm not an insider. I'm not a guy. I'm just a fan. Like I always say, a lot of people, I get a lot of comments from people that think I'm some insider or something, or I'm reporting stuff. I'm not. I just take the information that's out there, relay it to you guys, and then I give my opinion and I ask for you. The entire model of this. Every once in a while, I'll make like a, fun conversation video, right? I absolutely do that. And I say it like right out the gate, like, hey, this is just a fun video. It's just like, hey, let's talk about this possibility, right? Or, I have been like, hey, I really think the Lakers should get this guy, not reported, right? On occasion, but 99% of the stuff that I make videos on are all reports from other people, and I just relay the news and give my opinion. That's it. But I appreciate you nonetheless. Shout out to Tyler for dropping these videos and keeping us updated. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Seriously, I do. I appreciate it. Like I say it all the time, I am shocked people want to genuinely listen to me. This is a beautiful thing. Let's see. Tyler, none of the guys you said were getting traded actually got traded, Rui, Gabe, and Reeves, because none of the guys that were rumored to be traded for got traded for. None of them, right? Like, we ended up with Luka, we ended up with Mark Williams, right? So, again, I base it off of the information we have. We didn't have information on Luka. We didn't have information on Mark Williams. So it's like, hey, if the Lakers are going to land, if the Lakers really are about to trade for Bruce Brown, they can't trade Dalton Connect and Jackson Hayes. They have to match salaries and all that stuff. So, yeah, of course, right? Because none of the guys that were reported did. Again, not an insider, just a guy that relays the news. Super excited for Saturday. Yeah, supposedly it's Monday now. But like I said, we'll see. We will see. Mark Stein, I think, was the one that first said that it was going to be Wednesday and then changed it. And then, like, there was like 3 different people that said 3 different things. But whenever he comes back, I am excited, even if it takes, a little while. Take your time. Like, I don't want them to rush him back, right? Like, that was a big problem in Dallas. They continuously rushed him back, and he kept getting hurt, right? And Luka even said himself, like, part of it was me. I just wanted to play. This time I wanted to kind of take the time to get back. Lakers need to make sure that he gets 100% healthy. Same thing with Mark Williams, right? A lot of people are really worried about his injury history. But again, it was an organization that rushed him back because they needed him, right? So they were like desperate for him, right? Lakers, they've done a good job of taking their time to bring guys back. As far as I'm aware, no, he's not. I mean, he just got traded like late last night. He's got to go through like physicals and all kinds of stuff. So best case scenario, he plays Saturday. But Luka needs to make sure his calf is 90% at least, if not 100%. Like I said, let him take his time. Do not rush back. Do not try to expedite, coming back. No, like take your time. Make sure because we need the best version of Luka possible. We're not going to be able to get away with 20% Luka or something like that, right? All in smoke Lakers. Thank you. All in smoke Lakers. I don't know what that means. You saying Lakers want all the smoke? Are you saying? Yeah, 100%. That's the case. Then yes. No Williams tonight. Lucky if he's on Saturday. Yeah. I mean, like I said, he just got back. He's gonna have to go through all the procedures and stuff. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something. I just talked about him. Jaden Sprainer just got waived. What would you feel about picking him up? He's a dog on defense and like a poor man's Christie. Yes. So, and he's 22 years old. I see the problem is it's not a win now move, and I think the Lakers are going to make more of a win now move. I wouldn't hate if the Lakers ended up trading, or not trading. No, because you couldn't do that. Never mind. I don't think the Lakers would do it, but I would love it. I'd be for it. Give you a 22-year-old versatile guard that can be a point of attack, defend. Obviously, he's a development kid. Obviously, he needs some work. He needs some growth. But he's a guy that I would, if the Lakers are like gangbusters between now and then, I would because I was gonna say, I don't want them to waive Jemison or Koloko really, but I think there is an argument to waive one of those guys and then bring in Sprainer because again he's a 22-year-old versatile guard. I think he has some real potential and just gives you kind of another young guy that if it works out great, if it doesn't, then no big deal. Ermin coming out with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Imagine the ultimate sign off for LeBron before he sails into the sunset. Dallas connection is crazy. Luka, Dorian Finney-Smith, Christian Wood, JJ. I will miss 80 though. Yeah. I mean, it's good though that there are the Dallas connections to make Luka feel better. I even talked about I talked about this on. I've touched on it here, but I made a whole video about it on As It Stands AIS the Lakers show, the other Laker channel. He was huge for the bringing in of Luka. I almost wonder if it was planned because at the time, because based on the timeline that we got, they got Dorian Finney-Smith around the time that the Luka conversation started to be had. So I wonder if they got him and were like, well, we could use him regardless, right? But with Luka, it gives us an in. Also, there's a lot of people that are like, he might not re-sign. He might not sign a new extension. If you have Dorian Finney-Smith, he will. Dorian Finney-Smith is literally his best friend. They hung out, they're over here like giddy gossip girls, laughing and giggling and stuff. It's it's beautiful to see. So I do think that's huge. But obviously, again, JJ, Christian Wood, guys like that, it gives him a comfort zone, right? It gives him, guys that he's familiar with, guys that he's connected to, which really helps, right? So that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, and then yes, I would love to see, LeBron. Let's go get a ring. Let LeBron. Like I said, I don't think LeBron retires if they win a ring, but I definitely think that this extends his longevity, for sure. But yeah. So anyway, appreciate that. What is it? Kandaja? Did I say that correctly? I hope I said that correctly. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really do appreciate that. I had to send you a super chat because your analogy on Jordan Clarkson is on point. Always squaring up, but probably get fight. I'm over here dying of laughter. Every time, even like when guys aren't even like trying to square up and fight. He's just, but he's like, he doesn't even have like a good like fighting stance. He's like not even like in a pocket or anything. Like he's just like it's wild to me. Like anytime like there's even like a little sign of smoke, he's like, I'm just like, relax, dude. Like, come on, you're a pretty boy. Sit down. Like, relax. Look, maybe he can fight, but usually the guy that gets all puffy chest and ready to go, usually those are the guys that you're like, all right, like guys aren't even trying to fight. It's the NBA. No one's trying to fight, right? This isn't the 80s where like, in the middle of a game they'd go ding ding and guys would just duke it out and stuff. Like no one's really trying to squabble. Like, relax. Like, sit down. But yeah, I appreciate it. Glad I could get a good laugh out of you. And thank you for the super chat. Seriously, I really do appreciate that. It's very kind of you. But yeah, I think it's I think it's awesome. I do. I think it's funny. But anyway, get back into the regular chat. Again, thank you so much for the super chats. I really do appreciate that. Oh, another one just came in. Coming out $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. I've been subscribed to your channel for at least 3 seasons now. I'm proud of you. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you. Seriously, Lakers 2025 NBA champions. Well, thank you. Yes, this is my 3rd season, so definitely. And I'm very excited, right? Like, obviously, we all are, right? Because it's like, here we go, right? So, look, I've talked about it. I still got to make the community post. Just been like, I got the 25K like right in the middle. So I definitely got to, put my thoughts and my thank yous in writing on a community post. So look out for the community post. But I said it before, I am incredibly humbled, incredibly thankful to be in this position. I mean, I hit 25K in 3 seasons. It hasn't even been 3 full years, just 3 seasons. Because I started in the off season. What was it, the Kyrie off season? Where Kyrie to the Lakers was like a big thing. And I just to keep growing the rate that I'm growing and to get the people. I mean, like I said, we have over 400 people in the stream right now that are just here to conversate, have fun, and listen to me talk and stuff like that. It's a blessing. It is a very big blessing, and I'm very, very thankful for it. But this is just the beginning. Job's not finished, right? Definitely have a lot more growing to do, a lot more just continued progress. It's better than 25K, 50K. So hit that subscribe button, everyone. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button too. I really do appreciate it. But seriously, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. And then, again, coming in hot with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. On another note, if everyone's healthy, I think the Lakers could win a championship this year. 1,000%. So can the Lakers win a championship? Absolutely. I believed even before Mark Williams, which definitely raised the ceiling, just Luka and LeBron by themselves probably could get you to the conference final. I mean, they're 2 guys that – I mean, Luka can win you a series by himself. Luka, 2 seasons ago, dragged the Dallas Mavericks to the conference finals, and at the time, no one could name a player outside of Luka, right? Like now, Jalen Brunson, because he became something, but he wasn't Jalen Brunson at the time in Dallas, right? Like, Luka is, again, he's anywhere from the 2nd to 5th best player. As long as you have Luka on your team, you're a contender. You have a chance. You have a shot, right? And then you add in LeBron James. Like I mentioned, Luka has never and likely will never play with a guy as good as LeBron, even at age 40, even in year 22. And if he does ever play with a guy as good as LeBron, the Lakers are probably winning a lot of championships, right? Like, it's a good spot to be in. So, I mean, LeBron and Luka, you're talking about 2 of the greatest playoff performers ever. Not just right now in like this day and age. No, literally ever. Like Luka's like 2nd all time in scoring and points in a playoff series behind like Michael Jordan or whatever. Like they absolutely can win this thing. On top of that, there's no juggernaut. Like there's no like KD to the Warriors where it's just like they're gonna win it again, right? Like everybody's beatable. Lakers match up really well. All the teams the Lakers have really struggled against, all of those teams, Luka loves to play. Dallas, the Clippers, Boston. Luka loves to play those teams, right? I am incredibly confident now. Now, as far as me like crowning them, like they are a bona fide contender, I still need to see a couple things, right? I still want to see a few things kind of play itself out. Obviously, how well do LeBron and Luka mesh, right? Like, even if it's good, is it good enough, right? Like, even if it's like okay, like they're figuring some stuff out, is it good enough? Um, but yeah, we'll definitely see how this plays out. But yeah, Lakers definitely can win a championship. They're healthy, just getting into the playoffs. Probably going to be anywhere from a 3 to 5 seed. I also want to say I said that the Lakers would win at least. I said that they'd go 52-30 this season, and I like my prediction. I'm just saying, I like my prediction, especially now. But again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Um, let's see. Let's see. Daniel Tice. I personally would stay away from Daniel Tice. Again, how many 6'9" guys do we need? Right. I think you got plenty of that. I mean, you got Markieff Morris that can slot in and play that role. I think Lakers need either a bigger center shooting or like another defensive guy, another 3-and-D guy, personally. Obviously, things could change as we see this team progress, right? See what we look like 5-6 games in. Maybe there is like, man, that's a glaring hole right there. That's always a possibility. We don't need another seat. We got Jackson and Jamison. We good. Jamison is a two-way. So come the regulars or come playoffs, he can't be on the roster. So unless they bring him in on that full roster spot that they open. We can't sign Smart or Schroeder. Correct. I've seen people. I've seen people say that Schroeder's making 12.7 million. I was looking into it, and according to Sports Track, he's making 13 point something. It might have been because of a trade kicker, but yeah. Because I've seen a lot of people. Not a lot of people, but I've seen a couple people like, oh, what about Schroeder? He's making 12.7. And I was like, I thought he was making more. And I looked it up, and he's making 13, which means the Lakers couldn't sign him. So Marcus Smart's making 20 million. So definitely can't sign him. And also, where did Schroeder ended up on Detroit? I think, isn't that where he ended up? Detroit said they're going to keep him. Let's see. How say you feel about Josh Richardson or Jalen Sprainer as our buyout candidates? So I talked about this. Jalen Sprainer, I would love to have. I don't think the Lakers do it, but he's a 22-year-old, defensive project, but still 22 years old, gives you some youth, because you traded all your young guys, right? Right. I mean, you have Luka and Mark Williams, so you're in a good foundation, a good building block, right, going forward. But there is the kind of I would love to, if you can get a young guy that can come in. Problem is, Lakers, I think, are going to want somebody that can get rotation minutes. Josh Richardson, I wouldn't hate Josh Richardson. I really wanted him like 2 seasons ago. But honestly, I'd rather have Torrey Craig, personally, right? If you told me we got Josh Richardson, I wouldn't be upset. I'd be like, sure, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Let's see. So trying to find something to me. See. Two-way players can't play in the playoffs. Williams was ACC Defensive Player of the Year, made the All-ACC team, ACC All-Defense. Dude can defend. Yeah, he can 100% defend. I mean, a lot of people talk about his commitment to the defense side of things, and the guy's still giving you a steal and almost a block and a half a night. Imagine if he locks in. But again, he's on a bad team. I talk about this all the time with these players. They're like, yeah, but he's bad on there. I'm like, it's very different when you're on a bad team compared to a good team, right? And you're playing a specific role. Right, like even Kyle Kuzma went to the Bucks, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, like that doesn't change anything." And I don't think it makes them, best team in the league now. But if Kyle Kuzma gets back to the Lakers role, that's huge for the Bucks, right? They really need a guy like that. He's younger, he's bigger, more versatile, right? Like there's like again, you see a lot of guys that play one way at one place and then come and are really good at another, right? Like even KCP, people love KCP. When the Lakers got KCP, he was not the KCP that won us the championship, right? There was talks about him being out of the league soon, right? Because he was just inconsistent, had his struggles, and wasn't the all defensive guy. Stuff like Alex Caruso was a journeyman before he came to the Lakers, right? Like a lot of guys, you just got to get to the right place. You just got to get to the right spot. And I think he's in the right spot. Let's see. Next week should be interesting as far as Lakers games go. Go Lakers, yes, without a doubt. Get Luka comfortable and a couple of practices. Yeah, ideally, if you could do something like that. AD, Kyrie, and Durant coming soon. Hold your breath. Nah, I'd stay away from Durant personally. Let's see. Dort, yeah, I like the idea of Dort. Brandon and Chris Dort. Let's see. Lakers don't need a score. You have enough offensive shot creation and enough offensive scoring, and LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic, right? Two, if not, I mean, you're gonna have all three on the court for a good majority of the time, but also at least two of them are probably gonna be on the court a majority of the game, right? Like going and getting a guy like Lonnie Walker, he's just not gonna get the attempts. He's not gonna get the opportunity. Like, they're Luka and LeBron are gonna generate 90% of the offense. So yeah, Kobe and Shaq in Dallas. Either Kelly or Torrey Craig, in my opinion, depends how we look. Yes, Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre would probably be one of my favorites if Lakers can land him. Too many 6'6" guys. Who are our 6'6"? Who are our 6'6" guys? Right. Austin Reeves is 6'5". Right. Like you traded away Max Christie, Dalton Connect. Right. Like Rui, Vando, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James. I mean, Luka is a point guard and he's 6'6", right? Like, who are your 6'6" guys? Let's see. Torrey Craig would be perfect, or Alonzo, but he signed an extension. Even if he didn't sign the extension, we couldn't sign him. He's making over the 12.8 million. Reggie Jackson is waived by the Wizards. He's a good backup guard. What do you think? Nah, I don't. Last thing I think they need is more shot creation. Again, like Luka and LeBron are almost always going to be on the court at all times, and then you have Austin Reeves that can be that guy, and then you also have like Gabe Vincent, right? So like, let's say LeBron gets the night off, you still have Luka and Reeves, and then Gabe Vincent as your third initiator, right? Like, if Reeves gets the night off, you have like Reggie Jackson's probably just right on the bench and probably never sees the court if you get something like that. I like Reggie Jackson. I still think he I mean, he's a guy that could light it up fast, but they don't need any more shot creators, right? They have three of the best, like as far as like trios go. There's nobody in the league that has the type of shot creation that they have, not even close. Which is why Lakers are probably going to be the best offense in the league. All right, let's see. Torrey Craig, you are a Laker. We could absolutely not use Lonnie. I mean, if you think so and you think I'm wrong, that's on you. But you are incorrect. Lonnie couldn't even get in the rotation previously. When Lonnie was in the rotation, the Lakers were 2-10 on the season, right? And then he got hurt. He got out of the rotation, and the Lakers went on a run when he never played. And now people think Lonnie's the best, right? Like, of course. All right. Oh, here we go. Come on. There we go. Tyler, what's your closing lineup? I think it depends on how the game flow's going, and like I think that's how it should almost always be. But I think it'll be Luca, LeBron, Mark, and then Dorian Finney-Smith, and then it's just like, do you go with Reeves? Do you need more defense? If you need more defense, then you're probably not going with Reeves. You're probably going with Vando. But I think, I think 4 of your closing 5 are that. I think it's Mark, Luca, LeBron, and Dorian Finney-Smith. And then it'll either be Jared Vanderbilt or Austin Reeves, one of the two. Yeah. If you can get Kelly Oubre, or sorry, you say Kelly Olynyk. Yeah, if Lakers need another big man. Let's see. I would start Luca, Dorian Finney-Smith, Vando, limit minutes, Braun, Williams. I think that's what they should do too, but they're probably not going to do. Rui should start. You can't start. Rui's too much of a defensive liability. And Luca, between Luca, even if you move Reeves to the bench, right? Like, yeah, you could go big and go with Rui, but I'd rather go one. They're not going to start Rui over Reeves, most likely. Right? Maybe because they're like, we go big, but I just think Rui and Reeves coming off the bench fixes all, if not most, of your bench issues. And then you go with the defense, because between Luca and LeBron, you got more than enough offensive generation, right? Like, the last thing you're worried about is offense between Luca and LeBron, right? And then you trickle in the offense throughout with the other guys. I think you need to go defensive purposes, but we'll see. We'll see what JJ comes up with. I just my problem is Rui isn't a true 3. He's a 4 that has to play a 3. But now that you have Dorian Finney-Smith, he doesn't have to play the 3 anymore. What guard should we be looking at in the buyout market? Again, Torrey Craig, Chris Dort. We'll see what other guys kind of become available. Like I said, Sprainer, I wouldn't mind that. It'll be interesting to see which guys actually end up getting bought out, because that's the question: which guys will actually end up getting bought out? Now we have an open spot left. Yes, we have one roster spot that we can fill. Like I said, don't expect the Lakers to rush to do that. They're probably going to take their time on bringing that back. So just something to keep in mind. Oh, hang on, sorry. Let me pull. I wanted to pull this up. Give me a second. Okay, perfect. All right. I'm going to go probably about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to skate on out of here because I got to get some videos done, and then got the Laker game, and then got to do the post-game stream again. So I will be live streaming again after the Laker game, as always. So do about 5 more minutes. I'm just going to go through as many comments as I can. Obviously, super chats take priority. If not, no worries. I'll just go through as much as I can in the chat. They wanted too much for Kessler, without a doubt. Without a doubt, we need a win. Yeah, ideally. I think what determines if you win a trade or not is if you win a championship with the player or players. I mean, it's very rare instances that a trade gets made and it leads to a championship. Oh snap! Oh, Jimmy Butler. So it'll get done. I just got a report that said Jimmy Butler trade is not official yet, but it's just because there's so many teams and moving pieces. The NBA's got to review it and say yes, that's fine. But sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's very rare, is what I was gonna say. It's very rare that you end up getting a trade that leads to a championship. Obviously, the Anthony Davis trade. But yeah. The starting lineup will probably experiment with a Reeves, Luca, LeBron for 2 to 4 games, depending on how much they click on both sides. JJ will make adjustments. I talked about this too. I think we'll see a lot of experimentation, right? I think you'll see kind of different lineups, even some that you're kind of I don't know about that lineup, but it's necessary because you're trying to figure things out. Let's see. LeBron would have left the Lakers before he retired. I don't think so. I think he retires as a Laker. Maybe he goes and does like the farewell tour, but probably not. The problem is the Cavs are good. If the Cavs weren't good, he might do it. But the problem is like the Cavs are good enough to win a championship, and LeBron's still so good that like I think he knows that could be a disaster, right? Like if he was to go and do that. So just something to kind of keep in mind. 93%, 7% thinks the Lakers didn't win the trade deadline. Who got somebody better? The only team that actually got like the Lakers trade is the best trade without a doubt. Next, I would put De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs because he's young. He's an all-star level point guard, and him and Wemby are going to be tough for years. I was just looking at the poll. Who's going to the first triple-double, Bron or Luka? Probably Luka. Because, I think LeBron kind of defers and lets Luka kind of run the show. Let's see. Moore should see some minutes tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if he did, right? You're kind of limited on guys. Why not? Mark needs to stay healthy. If he does, we have an all-star, but his defense is not great. It's not great when he's not engaged, right? Like it's not consistently great. Like he's shown when he's bought in on the defensive side, I think he'll be great. But he's on a bad team, right? I talked about this earlier. Right? It's hard to get up every night when when you've won 6 games, right? It's hard to when you're the only defensive piece to be an actual defender on a nightly basis, right? Obviously, it's not a good excuse. It's not like that shouldn't be the case. You should always be the best version of yourself, but it's just how it works, right? Like, and I just think he'll come in. The health factor, I think he'll be fine. One, Hornets regularly rushed him back. I mean, there were reports about them rushing him back. Like he was supposed to be out for 2 weeks, and he came back 6 days later. So that doesn't help. Lakers said that they're confident that all of his injury woes are all gone. Lakers training staff and medical team, medical and health department, fitness and health department are just better, right? So again, look how healthy, knock on wood, look how healthy we've been this year, right? All the injuries have been from last year, right? Vando, Christian Wood, Gabe Vincent, have guys like missed games and stuff like that. Like, no, of course not, right? Like, but that's part of the game. Like guys are going to miss games there, but we haven't had any again, knock on wood, any longevity or any long-term injuries. Lakers can't get Bradley Beal if he gets waived, which they're also not going to waive him. They'd have to pay him like $200 million to waive him. Let's see. Bro had drip, yo. I was JUCO jeans. Pretty boy. Yeah, I was that. I was anchor blue jeans, pretty fly for a white guy. Them was the good old days, without a doubt. Yeah, back when he was jerk and all that stuff were coming out. I used to be able to jerk and do all that stuff. We'd all do that after school and stuff. All the little dance moves. Did Tyler say he was a pretty boy? I'm dead. I was back in the day. Back in my day. Now I'm just old, ugly, and fat. So Sasha, yeah. So Cool Water Cologne. Yeah, I remember that. Malibu Gangsta. Nah, I wasn't a gangster. I assure you. I never turned down a squabble, that's for sure. But I wasn't far from that. Believe me. I was too busy hooping and trying to get girls. I didn't have time for all that other stuff. Tyler Reeves hater confirmed. What's going on, Blanca? Rick Fox was another guy. Yeah, Mike Cooper. What's going on? Appreciate you. How are you? Thanks for being here. All right, let's do a couple more and then I'm gonna get out of here. Sorry if I see Chris came in. Chris came in. Other defense is barbecue chicken. Defense will be fine. It's just about the commitment. Uh, let's see. Bro was not rocking the drip like that. Sounds like one of those stories my pop would tell me about how he was ruling the world back in there. I definitely wasn't ruling the world, but yeah, 100%. We used to buy and sell sneakers. I was a sneakerhead. We used to buy and sell sneakers, and we go. I never wait in line. We just like pay people to wait in line and just get the pairs and all that stuff. Right. I was like I was a big Nike SB guy. Right. Like the uncles, I had Londons, which were like $1,500 shoes at the time. Now they're like 30 grand. Ray Guns, De La Souls, MF Dooms, Day of the Deads, like all the like I had like closets stacked with them. I had buddies that like would own shoe stores and get all the stuff. And wow, it was a long time ago. I made some of the money like doing that. I was a pretty boy nerd. I used to I was '90s kid. Like I grew up. I played Pokemon. I played Yu-Gi-Oh. I rock shoes. Try to go to a local card shop, beat somebody in Yu-Gi-Oh. Go to the basketball court, beat them in basketball, and then go pick up some girls. Right, like the trifecta. Right, the good old days. But I was, I was that guy. Um, Remember when we had Carlos Boozer? Yeah, facts. Uh, Boston ain't winning nothing. Lakers coming for that chip. Don't worry. Don't worry. Um, the snitch, Nick Young. Nick Young wasn't the snitch. It was D'Lo. D'Lo was the snitch. Can we bring back Quincy Olivari with that open roster? Can we? Yes. Will we? Probably not. More likely than not, we're probably not going to do that. But yeah, probably not. Kendall Marshall days. If he's out for the season. Problem is he's so far is not ruled out for the season. Lakers got to wait 8 weeks. He's going to get reevaluated in 8 weeks. If in 8 weeks they say he's out for the season, then yes, then that could happen. DJ Banga day. Let's see. Jordan Farmar, Kwame Brown, Raymond Sessions. Smart man, women rule you. Believe me, I got a girl and 5 kids. I understand how it works. How long do you think it takes for Luka to get his first chip on the Lakers? I mean, it could be this year. Seriously, ask me that in like 2 weeks, and I probably have a better answer. But on the surface, I do think that they have a genuine chance. I don't know if I'd bet on it yet. I think he wins it in the next 3 years. I think he wins a chip in the next 3 years, minimum. Is probably my guess. So, yeah, I'll say the next 3 years. If not this year, then next year or the year after. Jeremy Lin's enemy. Now they can focus. Yeah, now guys can get back to. They don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Not anymore. We got Luka. Luka loves to play Denver. Loves it. How do you feel about Lonnie Walker? So I knew I was going to talk about him a lot. I stay away from Lonnie Walker. We don't need any more self creators. We don't need any shot creation. You got plenty of that between Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. You need two-way guys. Lonnie Walker just doesn't give you the defense. He doesn't have the size. He's too inconsistent. They need to go. They need to get. They have too many needs. If Lakers had a spot that was like, we just need a guy at the end of the bench, then sure. But the last thing you need is that. You're almost better off getting like a Seth Curry or somebody like that. Somebody that can just be an off-ball catch-and-shoot three guy. Where Lonnie Walker, he's not going to be best at what he's good at, which is just taking guys off the dribble, getting to the basket, applying rim pressure, stuff like that. I can't wait to see Luka's debut either. at all. Chris, Tyler, Tyler is definitely where I go for all my Laker news. LOL. I've been here since like 3K subs. Well, thank you. Seriously, I love the progress, my dude. Well, thank you. Seriously, I'm very, very, very thankful. Yeah, I am very, very thankful to be in this position. I mean, it wasn't that long ago I was at 3K, and now 25K. So, but I'm gonna wrap it up here. Like I said, I will do the post game stream, so I will be here after the game. Head on over here. If you can. And we'll do the post game stream, talk about the Lakers, hopefully getting the win. They should get the win. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys, everyone that tuned in. Seriously, thank you all so very much. Anyone that gave me super chats, seriously, I really do appreciate it. As a content creator, obviously it helps. So I really do appreciate everyone and everyone to just hung out, talked, and had conversations. Again, people are beautiful. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys later tonight. See you in a couple hours. Peace.